Faith. Ooh, your source of strength. That one was a hard one for me. Knowing who I can go to, knowing that my faith wasn't rattled. Was my faith challenged? Yeah, definitely my faith was challenged. I was dealing with doubt, to be honest. I was dealing with doubt with being a good mom. I grew up with my mom, single mom of 5. I didn't know my father until the age of 13, which still rejected me after I met him. That's a long story. But my mom was a working mom, a hardworking mom. She's a nurse. And so I was actually grown up by my grandmother. And that is where my nurturing kind of came into play from her, from my grandmother and my grandfather, who resided in Cambridge. So I kind of grew up in a demographic of just being the only, 2 Black students in the entire school, and the second Black person was my brother. But it was hard because, in our Jamaican culture, we're very strict, we're very stern, disciplined and so forth. So that's all I knew as being a mom, being strict and being stern. That loving nature, we saw that through either going for ice cream or, doing a little barbecues with the family or little outings of hiking and stuff like that. Maybe love was also portrayed through my grandmother giving me hot chocolate at night and cuddling up with me before bedtime. I only have little fragments of how love was displayed. So I was doubting being a mom. I'm like, what's really a mom? Like, besides what you see on TV, you always see them playing with them or reading a book at bedtime and so forth. You have those little pictures of fragments of what they should look like, but I didn't experience that. So for me, I was doubting, like, why am I pregnant? Why am I pregnant now? Like, I don't think I'm ready for this. God, like, okay, fine. They say, like, if he brings you to it, he'll bring you through it. Okay, that's nice. Okay, now I'm going through it. Where's my faith? What's happening with my life? And so I was struggling with knowing how to be that mom because of the expectations of how others see how motherhood should be on this level, or you should be operating, doing this and that. And so, meeting all the check marks. And that was my fear. Like, okay, am I going to be a great mom to this child that I'm going to bring into this world, that I was brought into this world and I didn't have the full family picture? And so I would just say to you, if you're battling that, just give yourself time. Patience, grace. You're going to learn along the way. There's so many things I wasn't taught, even down to the teething, at nights where my son was waking up in the middle of the night, screaming his head off. And I'm like, what is going on with this child? This is like The Exorcist. But then I realized, oh my gosh, his gums are hot. He's drooling. Give him some Tylenol. Yes, I live with my mom. And I could have went next door and asked her to say what's going on. But, certain things you had to figure out on your own. So you were able to identify the signs and the symptoms. And so I'm thankful for the grace that I gave myself and the patience I gave myself to understand how to deal with those challenges. And I would say just, again, take some time, breathe. I know it's a lot, it's overwhelming. There's not a book, a manual to say, okay, on day 2 of after you gave birth, this is what is to be expected of you. There isn't. There's no book. And if there is, it's a lie. Because it's not a one book fits all situation. Everybody's different, and we all go through our different challenges at different times in life. And so I would just say to you, take some time with yourself. You're not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna get it right the first time. But sure enough, as time goes on, maybe if you have another child, you'll get it. Don't worry. It's like riding a bike. Once you ride it, you'll keep getting better at it. I just want to say lastly is that I know being a mom is challenging, and I know at times you may feel like you don't know what you're doing, and maybe you can look about seeking the help maybe, or a support group. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with asking for help in the times of need. My concern is that you don't ask for help and you're drowning. And then that affects you, your husband, and your child. Because either out of pride or out of shame or out of guilt, but don't let that shift your faith. Don't let that shift you inside. You're a mom and you're there to protect. You're there to provide nature and nurture to your beautiful baby, and they need you. That is the reason why they were inside of you for 10 months. And believe it or not, without you, they don't know what to do with themselves. And so the best mom that you can be is the best person inside. So therefore you can be the best mom to them. So again, give yourself patience, give yourself grace, take it day by day, hour by hour, and know that your faith, your strength, I know it came from praying and seeking help from great resources and sources that I knew that I can depend on. And that's all I want to say to you today. Keep strong.
We'll work it out.